Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining us on the CGS Biblecast. We are going to be in Genesis chapter 19 today. We have been in our reading plan, and we are studying Lot right now. We're in the story with Lot. And if you haven't read that, I recommend that you give it a read, because you want to talk about some interesting topics to dive into. In fact, we had men's breakfast this morning and we got into some of those. And let's just say the conversation was interesting is a good way to put it, I think. So anyway, but we're not going to get into some of those cool, interesting topics for the Biblecast, but we are going to talk about Lot here a little bit. And so we're going to jump right into Genesis chapter 19, 15 through 17. So let's get to it here. At dawn the next morning, the angels became insistent. Hurry. I underlined it there for you. They said to Lot, "Take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, get out right now, or you'll be swept away in the destruction of the city." When Lot still hesitated, the angels seized his hand and the hands of his wife and 2 daughters, and they rushed them to safety outside the city, for the Lord was merciful. Probably should have underlined that part too. When they were safely out of the city, one of the angels ordered, "Run for your lives and don't look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Escape to the mountains or you will be swept away." Now, if you're familiar with the story, you know what happens. You know that Lot's wife looks back and she turns into a pillar of salt. You also know that Abraham pleaded with the Lord, and that's why it's brought up here that the Lord was merciful to them. He was merciful because Abraham asked that the Lord spare Lot. So the Lord brings them out of there, and he does so. Everybody, well, not everybody escaped. Lot's wife didn't escape, but the Lord was merciful. Lot got out, and his daughters got out. And Abraham, as you can see, is just sitting on the hillside watching the city burn. I can't imagine how difficult that was to watch, but think about it from Lot's side of things. He is getting swept up in a wild, wild world, much like we do. As we watch the news, we see shocking reports of mass shootings, racial injustice, escalating crime, and it's just all on top of that. There's like a bunch of other things along the horizon as far as like social changes. My brother sent me this video about AI, and it's like messing with my mind that computers are going to take over the world, and it's just all these crazy things that we have to worry about and think about throughout the day. But the great thing about that is we are not alone. Lot wasn't left there. Abraham prayed for him and interceded for him as we should do for others, and others have done for us. And we are not alone. God called us by name, just like Lot and his family. He invites us to leave our sins in the past. The city where Lot was in was a sinful, horrible place. And like I mentioned, the interesting things that were in this reading for today, you would know that Sodom was a really, really, really disgusting and sinful place to grow up and live. So this is what Lot's running away from. This is what we need to run away from. He invites us to leave the sins of our past and not look back. Just as it says here in the word we just read, don't look back. So when our world seems like it's burning down and under destruction, it's time to run to Jesus. The Old Testament is all about Jesus. As we dig in and we look at this, for us and what we can learn from this today is that we need to run from sin, run away from our past, the things that were leading us on a path to destruction, the things that we have been pulled out of by the grace of God. He's pulled us out of that sin, out of that that place of destruction. He set us in a place for peace, and a place for basically a place for us to win and to succeed. And so we got to pull ourselves out of that, and we can trust him with all of his promises. He loves us unconditionally, and that is something that we can count on in the future. Don't look back. Don't miss the things of the world that were out to destroy us. Focus on Jesus. Trust him with the plan that he has for us, and rest in that. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow morning.